Bye.
Kayaking is my thing.
Running is awesome.
But her moderate to severe eczema would make her skin so uncomfortable.
Now I'm staying ahead of it.
Dupixent helps heal your skin from within so they can have clearer skin and less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
How can I help you?
Our Chip and Joanna Gaines exclusive behind the scenes of Fixer Upper, the hotel.
Talk about a good before and after.
The greatest. I mean, is it me or I just can't get enough of these two?
I love them, of course. I'm gonna get a shirt that says shiplap is my safe word, okay? And speaking of the greatest, Oscar-winning director Martin Scorsese.
Happening now. Up next, we hear from a Palestinian student studying right here in San Antonio. His concerns for his friends in Gaza as the war between Israel and Hamas drags on.
There are so many hidden hazards that exist within the home.
Childproofing your house can be a daunting task. Coming up, one family's mission to make it easier, the tragedy they experienced, and how they're creating change.
Record-challenging warmth is just around the corner. We'll talk about that along with an update on our next chance of rain and what it hinges on in just a bit. The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, first responders on the scene of a major accident, a crash between a school bus and an 18-wheeler. This happening on Highway 90 at Loop 1604 on the west side. Up until just a few minutes ago, this school bus was sitting right in the middle of the intersection. We're told the bus is from the Southwest ISD, and according to a district official, there were 20 students from Scobie Middle School on board when it was hit by that 18-wheeler. We're told 3 students and the bus driver had some injuries. They were transported to the hospital in stable condition. The district official says the other students were on board the bus were being released to their parents. We do have a crew that is on the scene, and we're going to try to get you some more information later in the newscast or on the news at 6. Jews and Palestinians here can only watch from afar. They can't help but feel powerless as they get reports of the bloodshed of civilians on both sides of this war. While we have heard much of the reporting on the war here in the U.S., Jonathan Cotto speaks with a local Palestinian student who is worried about his family and friends.
I personally condemn any death of any civilian on both sides.
UTSA student Khalid Yassin's father is Palestinian and has a friend that is currently in Gaza.
And right now they're living in a very bad circumstances. They're staying in maybe like around 60 people in one house because a lot of people got displaced from North Gaza.
These video images were sent to him by his friend 2 days ago. Yassin says he hasn't heard from him since. Although thankful to live in San Antonio, Yassin says he feels helpless.
We go to school, everything's normal, but like people that you know and people that you speak your language and people that share the same culture are not. So it makes us feel like, guilty and depressed. My only message is that Palestinians are human beings that deserve to live.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Meantime, President Joe Biden in Israel meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, pledging U.S. support for Israel and for the humanitarian aid needed in Gaza. President Biden in Tel Aviv for a face-to-face with Netanyahu. Today, the Israeli government saying it will allow Egypt to deliver limited quantities of humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip.
Palestinian people are suffering greatly as well. We mourn the loss of innocent Palestinian life. Hamas diverts or steals the assistance. They will have demonstrated once again that they have no concern for the welfare of the Palestinian people. And it will end.
The president scheduled to address the nation tomorrow night at 7 o'clock from the Oval Office. Right now on KSAT.com, we spoke to Israelis who live here in San Antonio. If you missed those interviews, you can watch them on KSAT.com. Police still searching for the lead-footed driver who missed a curve and plowed right into a family's home in the middle of the night. It was a panicked family who tried to run for safety, but they got trapped on the second floor by the car because it landed on their stairway. Talk about a wake-up call. This happening in the middle of the night on Baldwin Ridge off of University Pass near Hausman Road. San Antonio police believe the driver was speeding, missed a curve, and slammed through the walls of the house. The driver didn't stick around, taking off on foot. The homeowner says he and his wife grabbed the kids. They tried to get out, but their path out was blocked.
There's a car on my stairway, so I cannot go down because there's a car, We were shocked. My wife was scared, like she's crying. My kids were scared. They are young. They don't know what's going on.
San Antonio firefighters did rescue the family by placing ladders up to the second floor window and pulling everyone down. Officers say no one was injured, but as you can see, the house was severely damaged. Police say when they find the driver, they're going to face criminal charges. Police say a man tried to bust up the love triangle that he was in by running down the other man. That drama playing out in the parking lot of a medical building on Westover Hills Boulevard near Calabar around 11:15 last night. Officers say the victim's standing in the parking lot talking to a woman. They say that's when the suspect, who's in a relationship with that woman, saw the meeting and the other man confronted them both during the confrontation. Officers say the suspect began attacking the woman. And when the victim defended the woman, officers say the suspect got into his truck and hit the gas, aiming for the other man. Police say he hit the victim and then sped off. The victim taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Police are still searching for that suspect. It started off as a plan to stave off CPS Energy rates increases, but what is moving forward is a plan that would at most limit how big new rate increases can be. Garrett Berger takes us inside the evolution of a Northwest Side Councilwoman's plan to save us money one way or another.
Shortly before San Antonio passed its annual budget last month, Northwest Side Councilwoman Melissa Cabello-Haverda floated what she calls a bold, maybe uncomfortable idea.
The goal was always reliability and affordability, but kicked up a notch.
The city owns CPS Energy and gets a portion of its revenues. Cabello-Haverda suggested sending some of that money back to the utility so it could improve resiliency and stave off another rate increase for at least 5 years. However, city staff suggested that plan still might not be enough to fully prevent another rate hike, though they said it would blow a hole in the city budget.
I think we would have to be talking about cutting whole programs or departments.
Instead, they're suggesting an alternative, sending back a portion of any revenue windfalls in the years when the utility earns far more than expected, like the last 2 years.
Does that guarantee that CPS Energy is not going to ask for a rate increase in the future?
No, it does not. So actually, we're working with them now on a potential rate case.
Still, staff say this alternate plan could mean future rate increases are smaller than they would be otherwise. Cabello-Haverda says any reduction is a win.
It's still a less money that our ratepayers have to look at. But even if it's half a percentage point, I think it matters.
Money sent back to the utility would be used for resiliency and reliability projects at CPS, with the city also getting a share of the windfall. City staff say they'll plan on using that policy as they prepare for next year's budget. Meanwhile, CPS is expected to propose another rate increase within the next year. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, here's a question. Have you ever been to a place called Westwood Square? Have you ever even heard of it? It's actually a neighborhood that's tucked inside the city's west side, and it's one of the oldest neighborhoods in San Antonio. And it's kicking off our KSAT series, brand new, Know My Neighborhood. Steve Sreister and Myra Arthur are live from Tacos El Rey on Castroville Road, and they are getting ready for our very first neighborhood newscast. So tell us what's behind this series.
You know, Ursula, it's very simple, the idea. This is grassroots journalism. We're not talking to politicians or elected officials about what they think is important to this area. We're talking to people who actually live here, who work here, who have fears and dreams and aspirations that they want to talk about, and they have issues. And I'm very excited about the fact that we're going to talk to them about common issues that are really across the city. Public safety, taxes, roads. But each of these neighborhoods has different variations on that and unique stories that they tell us.
And that's what we think local news really should be, highlighting the people and the places that make San Antonio what it is. And as Steve alluded to, even though the concerns, the questions, the characteristics of this neighborhood are unique and make it an individual place in San Antonio, there are threads that spread to families, to neighborhoods, no matter where you call home in this city. So take a look at a glimpse of what you will see in this very first Know My Neighborhood.
There's a lot of beautiful people out here that call this home.
Oh, I love it. Been here forever. I'll probably die here.
Our neighbors keep an eye on our houses, and they make sure that we're safe.
There's a lot of traffic and going all over the place. The street remains very dangerous to cross.
Kind of a food desert, that's the other thing.
There's really not a lot of grocery stores.
Break-ins, burglaries, a lot of gun violence too.
It's changing for the better.
There's a very strong family commitment within this community. The moment that you're involved with a player, you get introduced to their entire family.
Is one of the strengths of Westwood Square the people who live here?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Those just some of the people that are highlighted in this series coming up at 6 o'clock. And we're taking some of those questions that they have that are tough issues that people in this neighborhood are facing. And we are trying to get them answers because they're big concerns that, again, so many people share just in a variety of ways because this is a town that is so unique.
Yeah, and let me give you an idea of where we're at right now. We're basically in the shadow of the old Kelly Air Force Base, not far from Edgewood and the Edgewood area, right here along Castroville Road. We're actually going to be doing a pop-up newscast right here from Tacos El Rey on Castroville at 6 o'clock. Hope you'll join us for the first of our series, Know My Neighborhood. Live from Westwood Square, Steve Spriester, KSAT 12 News. Ursula, back to you.
Looks like y'all are in a great spot. Thank you. Meantime, we're getting ready for changes.
Yeah, we are. It's going to be warming up. Now, earlier this morning, 50 degrees for the low temperature, and that's 10 degrees below average. That's going to be changing, and our afternoons are going to be getting warmer as well. Today, we made it to 83, which is pretty much right on par for this time of year. You look at the temperatures right now with our weather watchers. 84 Eagle Pass, 86 Santa Maria, 80 in Leon Springs, Floresville, 85 degrees at this time, Bernie 80, and Windcrest at 82. So most of us in the low to mid 80s for our temperatures right now. That's pretty much the high for the day. Temperatures falling off, but not as drastically as the past several nights. 66 at 10 o'clock, still lower 60s at midnight. Even a little touch of humidity in the air after midnight. That's going to be very brief, however. There's actually a weak cold front that's going to be headed our way. We'll talk about that, what it means for us, along with our warming trend, how warm it's going to get, and our next chance of rain. I'll have an update on that in a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Turmoil in the U.S. House of Representatives continues. A second vote for a new Speaker of the House, the nominee Jim Jordan, falling short. In fact, the Ohio Republican is losing ground. He lost 22 supporters in the second vote. This puts the House in recess while representatives try to figure out a way to reopen. Jim Jordan has 200 votes, but he needs 17 more to win. And according to his own words, he is not giving up.
Look, I already proved what I can get from the most conservative members of the conference to the more moderate members of the conference.
Republicans plan to hold a closed-door conference meeting following Jordan's second bid, and the next House vote is now scheduled to happen on Thursday. Back here at home on our streets, your traffic authority showing us the action at I-10 and Frio, and you can see what a difference it makes if you're going into town or you're going out of town. Both the upper and lower decks of I-10 are creeping along if you're heading out of town. A couple still grieving for the loss of their child turns their tragedy into purpose. The specialized home they designed to save other children from preventable accidents. Here's a look at what we're working on for the News at 6. A man accused of capital murder, now convicted. He was given a 35-year plea deal on a lesser charge. We're going to take you inside the courtroom for Noah McGarry's sentencing and how the victim's family had their say before he was taken away to prison, what they said today on the News at 6. Home. It's the place where children should be their safest. But every year, tens of thousands of children are injured by products in and around the house. And many of those accidents are simply preventable. 12 Underside's Marilyn Moritz takes us inside a very special house that was created by a family trying to turn their tragedy into purpose.
Charlie Horn was only 2 years old when he was killed while trying to climb on a small dresser in his bedroom. Now his parents, Brett and Jenny, are turning tragedy into their mission. They created Charlie's House, the nation's first safety demonstration home, designed from the ground up and dedicated to reducing home accidents.
It's a place where parents and caregivers can come and they can learn how to properly child-proof their home.
It shows parents the dangers of unsafe sleep in the nursery, furniture prone to tipping over, poisonous items and choking hazards in the bathroom, kitchen, and laundry, and fire hazards they may not have thought of.
There are so many hidden hazards that exist within the home, and this house is a place that parents and caregivers can visit to learn about various hazards that exist and learn what they can do to prevent risks.
The house is located in Kansas City, Missouri, but families can take a virtual tour. For years, the Horns have worked with safety advocates demanding tougher standards for furniture. The new Sturdy Act does that, setting standards for furniture like the dresser that killed Charlie. And they work to draw attention to new risky products.
New products are always a concern, and so it's important to keep up to date with new guidance on safe sleep.
It's a constant battle, but for the Horns, it's a mission that's personal. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Giving that little life some important purpose. Taking a look outside with live cam, not a cloud in the sky, but I'm hoping that's going to change on Monday, perhaps?
Yeah, we will get more clouds. Even this weekend, we'll have some nice brush strokes in the sky from some cirrus clouds and then a chance of rain in the extended forecast. I wouldn't get too excited about it quite yet, but at least there's a shot. Morning temperatures are going to be back to average, which is 60 degrees starting tomorrow, close to average. But the afternoons will be much warmer and even, I think, record-breaking for a few days. And then our chance for rain comes back in the picture. Let's start with our afternoon temperature trend. Near 90 tomorrow, into the 90s, Friday and Saturday. No, we're not done with the 90s yet. They're creeping back into the picture here. Friday, 94, that'd be a new record. Saturday, we're predicting 93. That would be a new record high temperature as well. You look at the readings now, most of us in the 80s, with the exception of Fredericksburg and Rock Springs at 79. 82 officially in San Antonio. Bigger picture does show a little temperature drop up into the Panhandle and further north up the plains. There's this weak cold front that's dropping into Texas. 74 Amarillo, 75 now in Guyman, Oklahoma. This weak cold front will move through early tomorrow morning, but it's not going to have a big really any noticeable impact on our temperatures. It's just going to reinforce a lack of humidity and dry air. Remember, you can define a front by a change in temperature and or moisture content. This follows the latter part of the definition, moisture content. So that drier, less humid air will just reinforce our lack of mugginess. Now, until it gets here, you'll actually feel a hint of humidity first thing in the morning tomorrow. The wind out of the south is going to boost that dew point back up near 60 through sunrise, but then that boundary moves through and plummets the dew points for midday on into the afternoon. And notice how it's very dry along that front. No clouds. No rain. You have to go up to the parent low pressure system in Minnesota and Wisconsin to get into the moisture. Our next chance of rain all hinges on, well, not all, but largely hinges on the remnants of Hurricane Norma. Now a Category 1 hurricane off the southwest coast of Mexico there. It's headed to the north toward Cabo San Lucas into this weekend and even early next week. Now, it does look like this system is going to be very slow for its remnants to move toward us. But by Monday noon, somewhere near western Mexico and the Baja Peninsula, then the remnants of it, the leftover upper energy and moisture, is likely to be picked up in the flow and moved over Texas during the early and middle part of next week. So that gives us a shot at rain. Right now, we're just looking at 10% chance Monday, 20% chance Tuesday, 30% chance Wednesday. There's a chance we could be raising those odds. We're not there yet. Right now, I think the heaviest rain favors parts of West Texas and locations just west of us. Tomorrow morning, not as cool, a little closer to average. 59 in town. Bernie 55, Bulverde 55, Floresville, Poth 59, Sabinal 55. By the afternoon, we make it up to 89 for the high temperature. Nothing but sunshine and a north wind at 5 to 15 that's going to reinforce the drier air for the second half of the day. By the way, the humidity's back. You'll notice it actually starting Monday and the rest of next week.
Oh, joy. Thank you, Adam. So the whole team is back together again for a little redemption.
Yes, apparently all the Spurs are available tonight to take on the Houston Rockets in another preseason contest. And guys like Victor Wembanyama and Trey Jones sat out, but they're eligible tonight for this I-10 rivalry. And our game of the week will see Smithson Valley at champion. We're going to hear from the Rangers coming up.
He's a great kid. He's been awesome to have around. His energy. He plays hard. He's a great teammate. He's talking on the bench, talking in the locker room. So I think he's a great get from the Spurs, and I think he's really going to help us out.
Doug McDermott praising rookie Serge Aurier Rice, who got to mingle with Manu and Tim this morning on Spurs Game Day. The Spurs held shoot-around this morning before hosting the Rockets tonight. More preseason basketball. The Rockets beat the Spurs 99-89 Monday night at the Frostbank Center, but Victor Wembanyama, Trey Jones, and Devin Vassell did not dress. They were out for rest. Tonight, all the Spurs are good to go as the Spurs and Rockets continue their I-10 rivalry.
For sure, yeah, no, I think so. Even though it's preseason, we saw a couple of scuffles the other night. I think it's good for both teams, having a rivalry. I know they had some battles back in the day, and we're excited to both be playing for something now. The last few years have been a little different, but it feels like the energy's back in both fan bases, and it can be a fun little rivalry.
Rockets and Spurs will play tonight at 7. Catch the highlights on the Night Beat. The big game and big game coverage this week. We'll see the 6-1 Smithson Valley Rangers at the 6-1 Bernie champion Chargers in a key District 12 5A1 contest. The Rangers are ranked number 5 in 12's top 12 6A 5A rankings, and they're 4-0 in district. They lost their first game of the season back in week 1, 17-16 to Reagan, and since then they've reeled off 6 wins in a row. Now champion is 3-1 in district and coming off of their first loss of the season. This is a big matchup the Rangers are embracing.
Yeah, so this is definitely an opponent we want to play. This is the caliber of team that we will see later on in the playoffs, so we want to play opponents like them.
It's great for us to a playoff type game to face a good team to get us prepared for where we want to go.
I think both teams have district championship aspirations, and obviously this is a big game towards determining that. It's not the only game, but to have a chance to do that, we've got to get this one this Friday, and champions thinking the same thing.
Smithson Valley Bernie champion is our game of the week, Friday night at 7 at Bernie ISD Stadium. Now we'll hear from champion Chargers coming up at 6. We'll be right back after the break.
Don't forget, coming up at 6 o'clock, our new series, Know My Neighborhood, will be premiering. Steve Spriester and Myra Arthur, they're going to be live from Westwood Square, showing us a neighborhood that largely has felt forgotten. Thanks so much for watching the News at 5 with us. World News Tonight is next.